some kind of butterfly. Baby, you give me midnight. You whip up my appetite. Don't leave me here high and dry. Oh, well, I don't wanna jinx it, baby, and twist myself at the spine. Don't wanna overthink it, baby. It's just twist your body and mine. Baby, you give me ice and fire. You're giving me wind and rain. You're some kind of butterfly. Baby, you give me midnight. You whip up my appetite. Don't leave me here high and dry. Oh, but I don't wanna jinx it, baby. Let's not get ahead of my time. Oh, but I don't wanna miss you, baby. So I stand up and speak just my mind. Oh. Baby, you give me ice and fire. You're channeling wind and rain. You're some kind of butterfly. Baby, you give me midnight. You whip up my appetite. Don't leave me here high and dry. Baby, you give me ice and fire. You're channeling wind and rain. You're some kind of butterfly. Baby, you give me midnight. You whip up my appetite. Don't leave me here high and dry. Oh, oh, politics, yo. douglAR politics. Listen, douglAR politics, yeah. douglAR politics. This is douglAR politics, yeah. douglAR politics. This is douglAR politics. douglAR politics. This is douglAR politics, yo. douglAR politics.
Good evening and welcome to douglAR Politics. Archie, this will be the first time in history you ever heard this. Archie, turn up my mic a little bit because, boy, I ain't coached swimming in a long time. And I went and I coaching the national Carifta team and I strained my voice from shouting, encouraging. They did a great job this morning at the beautiful aquatic center. But clearly, Archie, I have not been shouting in the Senate. My voice is not accustomed as it used to be to those high levels. So Madam Kangaloo, before they swear you in as the first disgraced PNM president in history, you could go back and you could apologize for attacking me because I shouted this morning in the training session and my voice not accustomed. You see how the body is an amazing thing? The body created by the Almighty adapts to different stressors. So clearly, for years I have not been shouting. So Archie, turn up my mic, boy. I need help today with volume. Now, West Indies, I see Archie going there. Me, I know Archie is supposed to pop a little picture of the West Indies. But you come, what you need? Or you're moving at the chair. You see in the chair? All you don't study the chair. The chair yellow. The chair is here, UNC. All across the country, they're calling for yellow now. My West Indies team. Now, I don't know if we should continue to play test cricket. I don't know if we should continue to play one-day cricket. I don't know if we should continue with this cricket West Indies, really and truly. We play in a test match against South Africa. We have 2.5 days to make 245 runs. And we get bowled down. Now, for you all who are not cricket connoisseurs, let me tell you something. The greatest batsman in cricket and the world-class batsman, if they decide they're not getting out, they don't need to score runs. Them could bat for 5, 6, 7 days. You can't out them. The only way people get out is when the game requires a certain scoring rate and you have to start to take risk and try to hit shots and so on. With 2.5 days, at about approximately 90 overs per day, with 245 runs to make, the West Indies cricket team could have batted at just over 1 run per over, and we lost. Let that soak in. All you have to do is any ball that looking kind of on the wicket and think, block it. Block it. Anything just stray a little 2 inches, push it. Take a 1. And we win a test match. You know we lost? I don't know. Bless all you know. Some all you still back in and say we turn corner. We turn the corner in reverse. Well, as we talk about reverse, FIFA might be the new PNM. FIFA come to leave this clown here. This man who in the shortest space of time has embarrassed every aspect of Trinidad and Tobago football. Anything we could have had a little pride on, this man has removed it. Whether it was hiring a violent elbow knocking down dunce who coached us to lose, drawing with Bahamas, drawing with Puerto Rico, who can't spell football. Playing a match, World Cup qualifier against Puerto Rico would be flagged upside down. The dunce of the year, Terry Fennick, his friend, because they have the same hue now, right? Embarrass us, take us to the lowest ebb. A set of fat boys from Bahamas, belly bigger than mine, B3. Men get paid. He pay himself thousands of US per month. And them come, FIFA come and extend this reject, this clown, this incompetent human being. He might be a good businessman, good. Go back to your business now. Your business calling you. It calling you. Go back to your business and leave we football, please. Because you're scarring us emotionally. You're scarring us mentally. You're scarring us patriotically. You have no shame for the love of country. Resign and go your way now, Haddad. You flipping clown. Imagine you have to move from Haddad. And then I have to say condolences to one of the greatest sports administrators in the history of Trinidad and Tobago. Jim Clark passed away. Condolences to the athletics fraternity, a man who brought about Southern Games and brought it to a level in Guayakara Park where international athletes, world record holders and things would come and run on grass. Nobody else could have gotten great athletes like that to come and run on grass, and cycling and track and field across the board. Jim Clark unfortunately passed away. He was a young coach at Dover's Athletic Club through the 70s and 80s. He was also the major promoter of the Southern Games. Condolences to the family and friends of one of the greatest sports administrators, Mr. Jim Clark. Now, I see scholarships come out, Archie. A man sent me something. Now, I could take my peek on it. This one was so good, I had to laugh at myself. Whoever had... Somebody sent me this, boy, and I had to laugh. Congrats Naps and Hillview on scholarships. Congrats CIC, Fatima, and Press Sando on great Carnival Fest. I'm going to take that. But Fatima, I don't call my boys, I don't call the principal, I just call people. I say, I ain't taking this whole talk again. But good shot, good shot. I can't say nothing. Congratulations, Hillview, Naps, and to all the other schools that did well and so on. But, Archie, merit is an easy thing. You know, I love sport. In most cases, sport, the best, the criteria, you work hardest, you have talent, creativity, discipline, great coaching, good mental ability, high psychological ability, stick-to-itiveness, you win. That is the beauty of sport. Merit floats to the top. Let me ask you this, Archie, because you're a computer man. Is it difficult to ascertain who get the highest grades, the highest, the distinction, the highest marks, most bonus marks, whatever, to give scholarships? Does that take a long time? Computer program, bam, 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 plug in results, voodoo, within a week. Why is it that the PNM has taken 5 months to give us a list of scholarship winners? Now some of y'all scratching your head. Let me tell you why. Because the PNM is anti-merit. It has nothing to do with the 100 scholarships. Those are easy. You can't gerrymander merit. You can't gerrymander high scores. You can't gerrymander marks. So the top 100, they knew that long time. But they delayed it for what all you ain't know yet. They moved from 400 scholarships based on merit to 100 scholarships and 300 bursaries. So the bursaries is what requires gerrymandering. The bursaries under the PNM is what requires a long time. The bursaries and the shenanigans of the PNM and are waiting for the bursaries and are going to go through each one and are going to find out the results of other children. Because let me tell you something. I don't know about y'all, but it is the most disgraceful thing on planet Earth to deny somebody an opportunity, a victory, a gold medal, anything that they have earned, that they deserve. Some of you are not understanding, you know. If your child studies hard, put in the hours, sacrifice, parents sacrifice extracurricular activities, work to a goal and put their heart and soul into it, and then you have a PNM bag of miscreants and underachievers who are only about nepotism and favoritism, denying a child that opportunity, there can be nothing more evil. And I choose the word evil very carefully. Understand what I'm saying. Anybody in sport, in boxing, and I don't like subjective things, so I don't like when boxing goes to the judges. Anytime you see the judges taking long, you know something going on. Some skimmy-dimmy, some skull, some acquiescence to try to change a result that people saw with their eyes. You could go back in history and see it. Once judges taking long, it has skull. Once bursary taking long, it has skull. PNM is about skull. This is so sickening. It's so dangerous. Let me tell you something. Imagine this now. Think about it. The PNM government, look at their track record. The cabinet is supposed to be the highest meeting of intellect, experience, and ability in the country. Okay, so when a prime minister is selecting a cabinet, you should try to get the best of the best. If it's sport, somebody in sport like a Jim Clark. If it's health, you want to get a medical genius like Tim Gopi Singh, Lakram Bodo, somebody like that. Look at what the PNM does. First of all, the Prime Minister is a rocks man. He only knows about stones. Total incompetent dunce. And then he selects what? Faris Al-Rawi to be Attorney General to form the cabinet. A man who nearly didn't pass law school. A man who stayed an inordinate amount of time in law school. A man who other legal professionals laugh at as a total complete idiot. Remember, this man was in class and was a dunce. In a class of, let me say, 60 lawyers, this man was the dunce. Rowley chooses the dunce to put him in the most prestigious position. Did Al-Rawi earn the right on merit to be Attorney General? No. Then Rowley goes and finds Limor. Now Limor may have earned the right over his career to ascend to that position. I would agree with that. But as soon as he swears on the Bible, he gets stupid like the rest of them and start to lie on affidavit, lose file, cost the country millions of dollars, play politics and turn dunce. Convent girl could not even become a medical doctor. So dunce. How many thousands of citizens have passed their exams and become medical doctors, yet you elevate a dunce who could not hack it to the highest level in health? Call me but a total incompetent fool that is crashing our budget now and lying after trying to peg the budget right up to the top. And now every day that goes we in a deficit and they come in to shaft all you even more. Because he budgeted at $92.50. The average price is $86 now. He budgeted at $6 per MMBTU. The price is $2.70. So you know what they're going to do? They're going to do their PNM thing. So legitimate bills, contractors, goods and service providers, legitimate releases to local government corporations, they're going to deny that and stop transferring money. They're not going to fill out the votes. And people are not going to get service. It's even going to get worse because of PNM stupidity. Go across the board in the cabinet. It's idiot after idiot. Look at this one. Rowley chose this one in Rowley's own words because he knew nothing about WASA. And he coming to raise your tea and tech rates. You could put up that minister man, right? And if the PNM man want to meet man, call them. Look at this one. Fitzgerald, Etelbert, narcolepsy, sleepy, nappy Hines. Even Manning would never give him a portfolio. Look at this one. The bundles, the only thing she good at is causing couture in the cabinet. Total failure. Look at this one. A total goat as a lawyer. I is a bush lawyer. The one time in over 25 years of being on radio, TV and so on, that a clown to me was Brian Manning because he's so arrogant and stupid, and he lost because this was his lawyer. Me and my brother, I say use the senior counsel, I the junior bush lawyer. BT so bad that a man who, the first defendant who did not file a defense, win a case. You ever hear a man who air file win small pin so stupid? Me and my brother BT so bad. That's what Rowley selects to be in the cabinet. The highest meeting now. These people that Rowley select are now in charge in the Ministry of Education, since the policy is now, oh Lord, even he does admit he's stupid. They are now going to select Archie after the scholarships, which they can do nothing about because good is good, bright is bright, marks is marks. They're going to decide that they change from scholarships to bursaries, including subjective criteria to be analyzed by whom? PNM dunces. PNM people who achieve their position not through merit but through licking PNM K-Packs. Understand what I'm saying? I'm taking my time. So these people are going to determine and have been determining for 5 extra months the bursary list. That's why the scholarships took so long, because they have to go and find a rationale to cheat, a rationale to deny children who deserve something, to deny them that opportunity, to give it to somebody else who's in Balize house, somebody else who they know, somebody else who's their friend, somebody else who look like them, because everything for them is not about performance. It's about old talk and giving opportunities that do not exist, controlling. So that's why it took so long. Look at the PNM election. The PNM election take 3 days. Anything that taken long is cheat and gerrymandering. Well, you need 3 days to count 8,000 votes. Rowley get 8,000 votes. You take over a 3-day period, 2,650 votes per day. And them needed days to count that. You understand? That's what the PNM is. Now, the reason I'm going through this, because the bursaries that the PNM come in with is cheating. Let me explain to you all something, because you all may say, boy, Anil, you're real passionate about this. And yes, because sport is sport. It's about brilliance. It's about hard work. It's about achievement. It's about reward. It's not subjective. It's objective criteria. And once you start to put subjectivity in it, it have bacchanal, bubble, and cheating. In 1987, Archie, I now finished playing football for the national team. I get cut from the 22 to the 18. I make it down to the end. I didn't make the traveling squad. So I jump back in the pool and I say I go in and swim. I make the team, and then a fella called Lawrence Albada 2 weeks later beat me left, right and center. I take myself off the team. But I still went to cheer on the team. My little brother Shastri was swimming. And the Jamaica, it in Jamaica, and Jamaica and Trinidad and Tobago going mano, gold medal for gold medal. And Trinidad and Tobago, Jamaica, even on the final race, the 4x100 freestyle relay. And Trinidad and Tobago have a bomb squad with Jabuko, Mark Diffentala, Shastri Roberts, and one other swimmer, right? We beat Jamaica by about 30 meters. When I tell you licks, bad licks. You know how far 30 meters is? You know a Jamaican official in Jamaica National Aquatic Center, National Stadium, say that Trinidad and Tobago this false start in one of the changeovers and disqualify Trinidad and give Jamaica the gold medal to say them win the overall Carifta. Well, boy, it had bacchanal on that pool deck. I ain't going to tell you. But that is some of the disgusting. Like that Jamaican fella, that one official, he fits into the PNM. In Cuba in 1993, I had a girl called Sangita Puri. Trinidad, you know, when we go Sisican, before when I used to swim and thing, all of we used to go, and it's licks after licks, Mexico, Cuba, Venezuela, Puerto Rico, bad licks. All of we might come home with 1 gold medal to share, 30 are we. By 1993, I had one girl and she went there. She come back with 5 gold medals. But in the very first race in 1993 in Cuba, Sangita Puri swimming 100 fly, 2 lengths of the pool, and she gone off with a beautiful kick, butterfly, gone clear. She touched about a body length and a half. But when I look up at the electronic timing, lane 4 which she in, Nothing, it blank. I say, well, malfunction. You know she win the race in a 1:04.78 or something, beat the Cuban girl by about 2 seconds. You know because her time didn't come up on the board. The Cuban coaches gone there to say them girl win. Now these things shock me. I ain't shocked, but I mean, Bacchanal, I had to argue now. And then they saw on the printout on the inside, on the backup timing, Sangita win, national anthem play. But these are the things that make you, that build your character to say, you must not cheat. You must not take something from a child or from somebody who earns it, who deserve it. In 1999, I coaching swimming. Now they create a criteria. Qualification, well, I had the highest level 5 senior World Swim Coaches Association, American Swim Coaches Association, only coach at that time in the entire Caribbean to have that level, because you're not only pass the exams, you have to use it in a practical way. You have to get a swimmer in the top 20 in the world to get level 4, and then they have to get in the top 10 in the world to get the level 5. Leah Martindale of Barbados did that in 1995 in Brazil, Sao Paulo, in the World Short Course Championships. So in the criteria, once I was available, the criteria that the association make, I would have to be selected because nobody else close. You know a PNM man, Winfred Espinay, all you know that man who closed down Petrochin? All must go. He was the president of swimming at that time. And in the selection for the coach for the 1999 Pan American Games in Winnipeg, Canada, Winfred PNM Espinay and them say, forget the criteria. We go in and vote. And they vote some fella called Edward Tuberoso because he talking in a Yankee accent. Right? This clown. That's the PNM way. Them don't care about merit. Them just find a way to shimmy to me. And that's why all of you people and right thinking people understand this. When you could cheat children from what they deserve to give somebody else's child who is not as deserving, that is evil. You all can't understand that? Why is that so difficult to understand? On top of that, let me give you one last story. I take my time on this. And Vishnu, you go cut it out, let people understand how sickening and evil the PNM is. And these are adults, dunce adults, treating brilliant future generations with disrespect and disdain. Tell me about 5 months to talk on a scholarship list, a simple thing. Who is the best? Who is the best? Look, Fatima, I get licks. I take my licks. I done call. We had to improve. We had to study harder. We had to get up there. I ain't taking no talk next year. But congratulations to those who did well. What wrong with that? We have to do better next year. We did good in the football, right? But academics first. So I take, all you laugh at me, my fet was good. See, I see all your fet was good too, but we ain't getting no scholarship. We had to take that talks from the South boys. Let me tell you something. Archie, my big daughter, Rebecca Marie Roberts, she gonna be 26 this year. But when she was 12 and a half, 13, back in 2012, I was the minister of sport. And she was the best little tennis player in under 14. She beat all the under 14 girls in any tournament they had, whether RBC, Sagicor, Tranquility, Open, bad like crab. Whoever was in charge of tennis back then, pick a national team and leave out my daughter. Clean. Pick 4 girls that she beat for the whole year. Understand what I tell you? Every match she beat all. When I see the team pick, I see minister sport. Understand that? I went to my daughter Rebecca. I said, young lady, you did not get selected. Even though you deserve to be selected. You are better than all of them. You have done well. However, your father is the minister of sport. And I am not going to say a word because immediately they would say, I am using my position to get things for you. So understand this. As hard as it is, that's the decision they have made. It is a wrong decision, but you will accept it. You will go Disney World with your mother in August and enjoy yourself. There will be other tournaments. It so happened that somebody get injured like late 2 weeks before the tournament in August, and them call me, Minister, your daughter has been selected to replace. I say, my daughter is a Mickey Mouse. Have a good day. End of story. That is the difference between what is based on merit and moving forward and earning a position in a cabinet to create policies that move forward. That's why everything in Trinidad and Tobago is backward. I had a talk with some fellas in the savannah when they were playing dominoes day. And my girl gone and sit down there with them while my daughter eating snow cone, and she beat them in some games, fellas. All they thought the girl, that's a national scholarship winner, by the way. So she pick up the game quick and beat them boys. But the point was, I was talking politics, anywhere I go talk politics. And I ended up telling them, they have 2 jobs in politics that I don't want, ever. The first job is to be a councillor, a local government councillor. And I respect all PNM, UNC councillors. I love and respect all you. All you have more ability than me to take pressure in that aspect. I say I don't want to be a councillor because you're living in the area. Your neighbors are around. The problem right there, garbage collection, pothole, drainage, mosquito, whatever. You seeing it, people seeing it. And you can't fix it. Because the only thing a councillor could do is go and beg somebody else to please help. Whether it is the chairman of the corporation, or the ministry or local government. Look at what the PNM is doing now. Them starving their own corporations. UNC corporations starve anyway. Geographic discrimination, political discrimination, religious discrimination, racial discrimination. That's the PNM way. But this PNM under Rowley, he's such a hater. He so have to get resources to Noel Garcia, to Small Pin and his brother, Small Pin father, Al Rawi rent, Franklin Can wife rent, recusals, this one, that one. He so have to take your money and push it by he, that he starve his own corporations like Diego Martin, that they can't clean drain and so on. And you know what the councillors get cost morning, noon and night. And they have no power and ability to solve the problem. Because the PNM is disgusting and does not give people merit. The second job I tell them I don't want. If you're doing the job properly, I have to put that caveat. Because you all elected a man to the Prime Minister office who don't care about the job. He on the golf course more than anything, and when he not on the golf course, he lying about COVID to stay home and do his job. He don't read nothing, he just talk and lie. He's lazy. His cabinet meetings go so short because nobody could talk except he and his boys to push the money where they want it and their recusals. So Rowley is not a Prime Minister. When you're doing the Prime Minister work correct, like Kamla Prasad Bisesa, I don't want that work. When Kamla Prasad Bisesa is Prime Minister and even now leader of opposition, she can't even spend a cent. It's 16, 18, 19 hours constant. Work here, thought here, process here, do here, meeting here, create that. As Prime Minister, all the ministries, double check there, every issue, media, reading newspapers, call in minister, what is this? Do that, solve that, cabinet note, children, school, whole day, whole night. No thanks. I like to go a little fishing. I like to play mass on a Monday and drink a little rum and soda. I want to do my work good. But me, I want to go and watch my daughter play tennis and practice, or go in a duathlon or ride bike, go for snow cone, play football. I want to see my children and go and relax and watch a movie and thing. To do that Prime Minister work like how Kamla Prasad Bisesa does do it, all the rest the douglAR a little bit. And me, I want no set a special branch all around me. Well, Rowley, I want no special branch now either. Because the special branch is the immunity to COVID. The special branch is the vaccine for COVID, Because Rowley get COVID 4 times. And Sharon, protected by her special branch, she ain't get it at all. So all you should not take no jab from the injection. All you should not take jab from the special branch, and then all you would have been good and safe, because Rowley getting the COVID, but Sharon ain't get it. Port of Spain vendors, we got no money, no love for Carnival. Port of Spain Carnival vendors lamented the poor treatment they received over the Carnival season, All you don't understand, they have a business of Carnival, economics of Carnival, diversification, jobs, trickle down. All of that flop. Carnival, yeah, Soca Bungee Street, Nyla Blackman, Music Street, Viking Ding Dong, Patrice Roberts, Destra, Marshall, all of them cats, everybody music nice, fat nice, rum nice, woman looking good. That's not Carnival economics. So all your PNM who can't differentiate, all you can't walk and chew gum. Paula Gopi-Skun, Trade and Industry Minister Paula Gopi-Skun, who's been a minister now going on 8 years in this incarnation. She now saying a local content policy is needed for Carnival costumes. Paula Gopi-Skun, what you doing there? You fit the mold of PNM. Totally incompetent, totally useless, just talking anytime the breeze blow. What have you done about local content? Costume didn't reach because all from China. What have you done? It's 8 years. What are you talking about local content? Local content? No, they even PNM even buy a little fish broth from the vendors around the savannah. All broken, all lost, crime all over. The Carnival bus. You now talking about local content policy? You all have no concept of what Carnival is. No Soca Monarch. Local content, what you want to do? Sing R&B in the Soca Monarch? Work to rule action by UE staff intensifies. UE, the bastion of our intellectual brilliance. Them are all broken. Had to beg for money because the PNM don't share money to those who need it or who earn it. Men in Lake Castle had to bend down and beg for the money. You ever see Al Rawi bend down and beg for your rent money? Couva Point Lisa's chamber asked RIC hold off on electricity rate hike, and Minister Man Marvin Gonzalez, who was getting measure for new suit by Ecliffe Eli all up in the hamstring, right? He coming to raise your water rate to all. Let me tell you, under Kamla, 74% all you had 24/7 supply. Kamla said leave the water rate so. We're trying to go up to 100%. Marvin Gonzalez and Rowley drop it to 12%. All you're getting 24/7 supply. So 62% of all you who had 24/7 supply now begging for water. When you turn on the tap, you're hearing air like it's oxygen tank you turn on. And the PNM who deny you water now coming to tell you pay more for water. It have more blackout, the electricity, and they come to tell all you the service worse, but pay more. That is PNM. All you feel election is about black and Indian? No, it's about black and white. Read cabinet notes, read policy, read intelligent, creative, new plans to move the economy forward. Amory Brown, aka Lollipop. Amory Brown, why they used to call you Lollipop in university? Tell me that now. Call a press conference and say, I just want to respond to the douglAR and let them know that my nickname in university was Lollipop. Not because I like confectionery, but because of something else. Tell us now. Tell us, Mr. Man. You want to talk about David Naked uncouth? As David Naked say, he don't bring violence at all. Brown. Only Brussels mission affected by bank account woes. Only Brussels mission. And they ain't give no reason. Number one, he lie, because it's more than that. Number two, a bank account of an embassy, of a sovereign republic, a nation has been closed, and you are so blasé. Boy, go and suck a lollipop and cool yourself. Move here, yes? Kangaloo's inauguration on March 20th, Archie. Write down this date, March 20th, when your democracy is well and truly over. Because all you put this, look, all you put this PNM, Balize when Rowley is such a miscreant. The constitution, yes, it needs changing. It needs developing, constitutional reform. But nobody could have envisaged that Trinidad and Tobago, through its gerrymandering, its EBC, and through the PNM cult, that a total reject a total chip on his shoulder, a total incompetent, heartless oppressor like Rowley could have ever ascended to the post of Prime Minister of our brilliant republic of brilliant people. And that clown called Rowley put in his selected recruit. He trained she. He mentor she. What a mentor? You know how Rowley does mentor them, eh? This is going to President's house on March 20th to plant a flag of Balizé juice on top of President's house. While she was acting president, she followed instruction from the PNM cabinet and fire an independent qualified person, Jawala Rambaran, and now you have to pay millions to Jawala. When she was acting president, the PNM cherry picked a section of the Data Protection Act to proclaim, when the public servant said, proclaim the entire act so we could do our property tax roll, fill out the rolls, or repeal it. The PNM said, nah, we have Balizé in the chair, we have Balizé in the car. Just take out section 42A and B, proclaim that, so we could jam the population with property tax on top of separation, business closed down, total unemployment, inflation, food price inflation, medicine inflation, removal of fuel subsidy. And you know what this Balizé juice sucking PNM card carrier who say about the gospel that the PNM did? Yes, PNM cabinet pressure the people. That is all the president. And you all think that's okay. The media say, yay, let's get ready to take pictures. She in she frock. Yes, she look good, and yes. Look, the man, she husband say, he has always been, because he is Kerwin Garcia, family to former Minister of Education Garcia, and then also Noel Garcia. So all of them now, he say, well, he was always known as Kerwin Kangaloo or Mr. Kangaloo. Really? Mr. Kangaloo? When you realize that, before the sweet red man beat you when you catch him with the honor woman, or after the cocktail? Before the cocktail or after the cocktail? I can't hear you, Mr. Kangaloo. Move, Sheena. Judge scolds DPP's office for discourteous lack of prosecutors. But let me tell all you something. Don't scold the DPP's office. Why do you all always like to play games? Put the blame where the hell the blame lies. The DPP's office cannot hire staff if they do not get the money to pay salaries. Where does the DPP's office get money from to enable them to fill out the HR structure? From the government, from the cabinet, from the treasury, from the Ministry of Finance. Who's in charge of the Ministry of Finance? Who's in charge of the government? Who's in charge of the policy? The PNM. So with all due respect to your weak pressure on the DPP, all your judges and so on, with all due respect, you all are part and parcel of the problem. Because all of you all do not want to just speak the truth. So yes, buff, but you cannot buff the DPP for what the PNM give him to hire. The man can't go and just advertise and hire 65% more lawyers when he had no money to pay them. All you're really disgusting in this country. The fact of the matter is, the Attorney General, the Ministry of the Attorney General and Legal Affairs, the Cabinet of Trinidad and Tobago has been starving the DPP's office of the resources required to conduct themselves efficiently. Therefore, anyone who wants to blame the person who cannot control the move has no testicular fortitude and is playing politics. So let me help you, whoever the judge was, to the PNM, to lie more. You spend so much time writing lie on paper and signing it. You bumsy crapping because you know Kamala right. the Florida State Bar about sickle law, which indirectly mean they go deal with you too. Because if them go down, you go down. You're spending plenty time outside, inside, all around. You, Mr. Klong, get the resources, go to cabinet and get the millions extra, the 80 million extra per year for the office of the DPP so that they can advertise and hire competent attorneys to fill out the HR structure so that the justice system could churn. This country is made up of such cowards. Imagine you study so long, so hard, you so bright to become a judge, a justice, and you blaming the wrong person to say what, oh, you did something? No. Just like you cannot blame the judiciary for lack of resources, for the slow movement of cases, when this clown cannot go to Rowley and say we need more money, not to pay Nelson, not to pay Kewal Singh, not to bribe people to give evidence against UNC, not to get money to try to pretend to investigate things that don't exist. We need money to serve the people, to serve the judiciary, to ensure that justice is swift. It falls squarely on the chest of this PNM fool and Rowley the ballad PNM clown. Why you all can't say that? It's true. Chance for useful talks, says the Express. Hear this now. Now these newspapers I already told you all. The whole reason anybody, Usain Bolt win the gold medal 100 meters. Why? Because he's the fastest. A man running 10.2 cannot beat Usain Bolt at 9:59, 9:65, 9:70. Cannot. But in the PNM, they would have found a way to let the 10.2 man win the gold and Usain ain't get nothing. And one of the ways you do that is to hide the truth through the assistance, help, aiding and abetting of conspirators like the mass media, like the Express, the Newsday, the Guardian, CNC3, TV6, and the PNM radio stations. Chance for useful talks, says the Express, on this issue, right? Hot on the heels of the report that Children's Authority is down to a skeleton staff of mere 25% of its required 942 employees, comes a complaint about a severe staffing shortage at yet another critical office. The latest case involves the Office of the Director of Public Prosecutions, DPP, which according to the Criminal Bar Association is now operating with 35% of the required staff complement. This is not a new problem. You see what they do? So the problem exists, you know. But then they ball, this is not a new problem. So your mind say, well, UNC, PNM, same thing. Let me do vote. You see how nasty, evil, wicked, and manipulative the media is? It's a problem now. It has been a problem since 2015. It has gotten worse. Under Kamla, it was better. Under Kamla, the DPP office was operating at 78% of the HR and increasing. So from 2016 come down, you can show the graph. Why don't you all get statistics and fact instead of writing this set of nonsense? So the Express goes on. This is not a new problem. For years, how many years? I just tell you, since Rowley's Prime Minister, the graph of the deployment from Al-Rawi to the DPP's office, the resources went like this. That's your job, Express. Not to play games, not to obfuscate, not to pretend that UNC PNM is the same thing and confuse the electorate and say, oh God, under Kamla everything was better, but then UNC thief. Now everything is horrible, but leave it so. That's your position, Express. For years, the DPP's office limped along with a number of challenges, including a lack of workspace, no accommodation for new staff, no place for holding confidential meetings about highly sensitive legal matters, which in some cases involve life and death. Why you don't put now all of a sudden there are no place to put a file to, that it has lost file that really not lost and find it back one time? The office of the DPP is too central to law and order and justice for it to be under-resourced. We therefore urge the Attorney General, the Chief Justice and the DPP to accede to the CBA's request. No! Not the Chief Justice, not the DPP. You see what they do? They say it's so critical. It's critical that the DPP must get resources. And they say yes, you call upon the Attorney General. We'll call upon the Attorney General, the Cabinet, the PNM, the Ministry of Finance, and stop. But they throw in the Chief Justice, who can't get nothing unless the PNM give his allocation. And they call the DPP, who cannot go in the treasury and take out money. You see how nasty they are? Now, do you all know that? Well, the douglAR will know it because I study this, I in this, and I so on, and that's why I read it to tell all you. Do you think the Express does not know that? That it is only the government who could resource the DPP's office in order to fill the gap. It is only the government that could resource the Children's Authority to fill the gap, to take care of our children. Imagine children getting raped, buggered, abused, and the PNM under-resourcing the Children's Authority, only 25% of the staff. Think about that, you know. Children being held down at night, buggered and raped, burned with cigarettes. Don't turn away. Don't turn away. Listen to it. Because the Judith Jones report in there since December 11, 2021. We in March 2023. And nothing has been done to protect children. Don't look away. That's what you all vote for. And the Children's Authority, in the face of a Judith Jones report, where children are being buggered and burned with cigarettes and beaten and abused, the PNM builds an administrative office for the Ministry of Health while the hospital in a mess. The PNM building a $1.3 billion airport with no tourists arriving in Tobago. The PNM paying the former Attorney General 23 plus 23, 46 plus 38 million to outfit his own building. That's what the PNM doing. But they're not putting money to increase from 25% the staffing of the Children's Authority to 100% to stop children from being buggered, battered, abused, and burned with cigarettes. And you all dip your finger for that evil, nasty. Listen to me. Don't try to pretend all you know don't want any truth. So that's what the Express does. They start to call everybody name. The Chief Justice cannot get $1 unless the government give the Chief Justice. The DPP cannot get $1 unless the government give the DPP. The Children's Authority cannot get $1 unless the government give the Children's Authority. Who is the government and Champa? The PNM, crippling the judiciary, crippling the DPP office, crippling the Children's Authority while children are being raped. And all you will dip your finger for that and tell me about anything? About who eat flipping banana? $1 billion CPEP fiasco, yeah. Only Indian does thief, only UNC and no audit since 2015. Oh, we couldn't get the file. We didn't do nothing while Croco driving wrong in CPEP van. Eh, Croco? Don't worry. Watch him. Hey, is you Croco? Watch him, van.
Off the phone! You kill people! You kill people!
I'm my phone!
You can't drive and talk on the phone, you dumb!
Fuck you! You the police? All your mother...
You will go on the phone again!
In my phone!
Yeah, go on your phone! It's against the law! It's against the law to drive and be on your phone! You fool! You fool!
Hey, my... Why?
Damn God for some people driving a car, don't mash up the people, man!
I drive in a 350 Mercedes Benz. I scope.
In all you see, Pep, that all the taxpayer van. That's why you just sing such tata. Let me show you all this now. Watson Duke went with some residents who complained to him, went to the HDC to try and get some information on what the UNC has been telling you all. It's an abuse of power, an abuse of poor people. Even though we know that people in East Port of Spain, Laventille and thing will never vote UNC because of the way they've been trained by PNM, Dr. Williams and the cult. But still, when the UNC is in government, they govern for everybody, not only who vote for them. But the UNC has been telling you that since 2017, secret plans were afoot from Rowley, who is the elitist, rich must get richer, to take the hills of Laventille, to move out the poor people, because the most valuable land in the Caribbean right now, at the cheapest rate, that land is the hills of Laventille, with the picturesque views and so on. They run it down, run down the value, and then they come in to take it, move you, give it to the rich people. They will build up, protect it, clean it up, go up high, security and so on, and the land value will move from little bit to wow. That's the Rowley way. The UNC has been telling you all that. There was no consultation. Keith Scotland was not even aware of what Udicott was doing, and he was the MP. So Watson Duke now found out about it. People complained to him, and he went down to the HDC to try to get some answers. And CNC3 sent a journalist called Kejan Haynes to do the report. Play the Kejan Haynes report for me, Archie. Play it.
PDP political leader Watson Duke is in the HDC right now. He's been there for a little over an hour. He's been advocating for residents of East Port of Spain who are being relocated as part of the government's East Port of Spain expansion project, an upgrade project. So these residents have been told since many years ago that they were going to be relocated, but Mr. Duke is saying that the places that they're being relocated to aren't adequate, and they're being given not enough time to leave. Now, we just spoke to Camille Robinson-Ray, she's the housing minister, who said otherwise. Let's listen to a little bit to what she said.
And people have been moved into those houses, so it's a process. We did promise we'll start in East Port of Spain because that is where we feel the revitalization should take place. We have done that, and so I am just of the firm view that Mr. Duke is looking for a platform
to launch his political run for Port of Spain.
He wants to be the mayor of Port of Spain. He also said he wanted to be the Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago. So this is probably one of his stepping stones. But I think he has a lot more things to think about than what he's here doing.
People are being relocated in this area or further away? Did you know?
In this area, and some will, of course, be decanted further away. So wherever we have units available, we've been planting people there.
All right.
So we have not been doing anything that the residents, the lawful residents, are not fully aware of.
I know this is part of the thing of revitalization, and the Prime Minister would have said wherever we put it, because we get
of the revitalization of Port of Spain, and it is an undertaking that we made, and we did all of this with the concurrence of the residents of Port of Spain.
All right, thanks, Minister.
You're very welcome.
Now let's go to this, Archie, because that story in essence was total nonsense about Watson Duke by himself, barricading himself in the HDC. On top of that, Kejan Haynes, this CNC3 journalist, did not tell you all that Watson Duke walked from East Port of Spain through the city with about 45 people and citizens who live in the area. Run that piece, Archie.
They're sending police now. Nobody here now. They're sending police now.
Yeah, man. Who for?
Somebody. We do something. They're not quietly. But I say they can't sit down talk quietly.
Well, let me take a seat. In the figure, if I'm in a stand, I'm in a threatening position.
Yeah.
Let me take a seat. And it's your idea. When I say justice, just say right now. Justice!
Right now!
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 Justice!
barricaded yourself basically for...
That's wrong. I can't answer that question. You just barricade yourself.
Tell me more about barricaded yourself basically for...
That's wrong. I can't answer that question. You just barricade yourself.
Tell me more about... AGC came to us about 2 to 3 years ago. They told us that they're going to build up Piccadilly Street and then they're going to move us and put us there. Within a month's time, AGC just come just and say, oh, they had to move. And they have nowhere to put us. They want to send us San Fernando, Princeton, Tabakit, Candy Gandhi, all about. And now they have nowhere to put us, but they want us to move. They come in and they take out of all the windows from off of the places. That is not right.
Yeah.
People living here. And people are trying to go to school and work. Or you could go down to Candy Gandhi and now all have no place and all they come and taking out the windows. That is not right.
Now, we're going to analyze this very carefully. And as you could see, the Keyshawn Haynes, the journalist, talking about barricade. He create barricade, concoct barricade, and asking what's new about barricade and what's new about what barricade. But on top of that, Camille Robinson Regis, the dishonest human being that she is, talking about, with the assistance of Keyshawn Haynes, about consultation and the people know and the legal residents and everything has been done correctly. Really? Let me take your minds back to some years ago, some time ago, what the UNC, what I was telling all, actually, don't let me talk, yes, run the truth, run it. To the people of Laventille, just listen to the douglAR for a second. Forget that I'm a UNC. Yesterday was a spotlight that came out to talk about Port of Spain regeneration and rejuvenation. And that they will be going out for consultation on these projects to uplift your lives, the people of Laventille, the poor people of Laventille. Right? Yesterday, I holding in my hand a document. All of this, okay? All of this from the HDC. And today when I'm talking in the Senate, all your business, you know, all your by Piccadilly, all of your Laventille who will never vote for me, but I have the document, right? Randall Mitchell, only jumping up to stop me, all kind of things, saying I'm irrelevant, all kind of, just to stop me, but you can't stop it. Because what this document says is that Laventille, your land has been sold. You're gone, they are acquiring. Your PNM government, the black man government, is taking, starting with Piccadilly, 100 edifices, 100 businesses, 100 people with property at Piccadilly around that Besson Street area there. That's why they leave the station down like that. Foster Cummins, how the SS going? Anyway, they are coming to acquire your properties. And you are going to get paid pittance for it. This decision, this is the contract here, letter of acceptance. This is since 23rd March 2018. 23rd March 2018. The HDC, that's a letter of acceptance for them to do. Hereby awards a contract to you and your company to perform the caption work, which is for the provision of acquisition. Acquisition means them taking your property. You have to move out. And here the other thing, when you move out, this document says that the money that they're going to pay you is going to be so low because over the years they allowed your property values to diminish down to rock bottom with crime, bad roads, bad water, no electricity, decay. They allowed it, gentrification to take place. So they are coming to pay you a pittance. So much so that the document, the intelligent people who did this, right? Let's read some more for you. 3rd May 2017. They now come yesterday in 2020 in November to tell you, oh, we're going to consult and so on. This is a done deal from long time. And yet you have a reporter called Keyshawn Haynes of CNC3, a news station. And Keyshawn Haynes is going yesterday. And just in general, we're going to dissect it. I want you all to pay attention. Giving you not news report. I want journalists, Valentino saying, somebody, Ken Gordon, don't mind is a PNM. People who practice journalism. Please analyze this and tell me, tell the population, if this is journalism. Journalism is about getting to the story, what is taking place, giving the facts, not giving your own personal interpretation, not filling out the gaps for the minister who you like, not concocting and giving conclusions of which you cannot support factually. I showing all this since May 2022. Since 2017, it was a complete secret acquisition from Noel Garcia and Udicott. No consultation, nothing. Telling and warning the people of Piccadilly, Laventille and all they coming for the hills. From since Calypso back in 1981, there was a Calypso song. They come in for the hill, Laventille. Well, they got the man Rowley. Rowley is the man. Rowley is the man who increased the rich people land. Remember in Renaissance, from about 10 million, and then give them outline approval to go up in the sky and increase the value of that said plot of land to 850 million. That is Rowley. But Kejan PNM Haynes, who calls himself a journalist, if he's a PNM, good for you. Join the party, go up for a seat, be a politician, be a blogger. But this is CNC3 that says we are a journalist, we are news. He done concoct, create barricade, also discussing and espousing the PNM position that consultation went through, and all of this was well done by the PNM. Don't take my word for it. Play part one. Only listen to Kejan Haynes, the journalist. Run it.
PDP political leader Watson Duke is in the HDC right now. He's been there for a little over an hour. He's been advocating for residents of East Port of Spain who are being relocated as part of the government's East Port of Spain expansion project, an upgrade project. So these residents have been told since many years ago that they were going to be relocated, but Mr. Duke is saying that the places that they're being relocated to aren't adequate and they're being given not enough time to leave.
Look at his face and look how nonchalantly he lies and says these citizens have been told many years ago. Never! The decision was done in secret. I show earlier, I got the document from inside. But he's talking about the citizens had been consulted with. They knew nothing about it. The PNM came like a thief in the night to move out the people of Laventille. All right, all you wouldn't vote for UNC. Okay, that's irrelevant. It is wrong. It is an abuse of people. And look at Kejan, CNC3, PNM Haynes talking nonsense, lying, not being factual, not investigating, giving his opinion without any basis, and also lying about Watson Duke being barricaded. Watson was live on social media. What barricade? Play the next part.
Done that, and so I am just of the firm view that Mr. Duke is looking for a platform
To launch his political
well,
run for Port of Spain.
He wants to be the mayor of Port of Spain. He also said he wanted to be the Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago. So this is probably one of his stepping stones. But I think he has a lot more things to think about.
A journalist filling out political propaganda, pecan and politics for the minister. Kejan Haynes egging on the minister about Watson Duke wanting to go for mayor or whatever the hell he wants. That is not your business, Mr. Kejan Haynes. I don't think Watson have any chance of going up politics mayor. Nothing. That's not the point. You're a journalist. You are to report on the story, not to be a PR piece and help and cajole and put words in the minister and join with the minister in attacking a political opponent, ridiculing about his dream that he business. It's a journalist, a news story. What madness passes for journalism in this country? Kejan, PNM, Dotage, Dance, Haynes, and CNC3, that all you have. Run it again, an expert.
The lawful residents are not fully aware of.
I know this is part of the bigger revitalization. And the Prime Minister would have said wherever we put chair, protest because we get
of the revitalization of Port of Spain, and it is an undertaking that we made, and we did all of this with the concurrence of the residents of Port of Spain.
All right, thanks, Minister.
You're very welcome.
Oh God, the only thing you didn't do is kiss on a ball and rub up. Thanks, Minister. You, Kijan, ain't talking about the policy of the PNM and saying that it was done, and the Prime Minister already said, and this person said, you lie. Actually, play back my little piece from what I said, and that Doubles and Coffee was about 11 minutes analyzing it, showing when I bust it in the Senate that they lie. They were doing it surreptitiously, secretly. There was no consultation. And Kijan PNM Haynes and CNC3, he finishing sentence for the bald head lady, for Miss who called Kamala Sushila, and they having a little lover party as a journalist, talking about the Prime Minister already said this and consultation, and he know more about revitalization and all of that. It is frank comment, move poor people out, give them nothing, they will never come back, give the land to rich people. End of story. Run back what the truth is with this Kijan PNM disgusting hands. CNC3, keep your morning brew, Balizé brew with your PNM candidate. Keep your journalists with PNM journalists. Keep that. That's why your ratings low. That's why you make no profit. That's why your Guardian paper can't sell. That's why your news gone down 120,000 views per evening, because you have been unmasked. It is political nastiness and propaganda. A journalist joining with a minister to give political PR positions. Run the truth. To the people of Laventille, just listen to the douglAR for a second. Forget that I'm a UNC. Yesterday was a spotlight that came out to talk about Port of Spain regeneration and rejuvenation, and that they will be going out for consultation on these projects to uplift your lives, the people of Laventille, the poor people of Laventille. Right? Yesterday, I holding in my hand a document. All of this, okay? All of this from the HDC. And today when I'm talking in the Senate, all your business, you know, all your by Piccadilly, all of your Laventille who will never vote for me, but I have the document, right? Randall Mitchell, only jumping up to stop me, all kind of things, saying I'm irrelevant, all kind of, just to stop me, but you can't stop it. Because what this document says is that Laventille, your land has been sold. You're gone. They are acquiring. Your PNM government, the black man government, is taking, starting with Piccadilly, 100 edifices, 100 businesses, 100 people with property at Piccadilly around that Besson Street area there. That's why they leave the station down like that. Foster Cummins, how the SS going? Anyway, they are coming to acquire your properties, and you are going to get paid pittance for it. This decision, this is the contract here, letter of acceptance. This is since 23rd March 2018. 23rd March 2018. The HDC, that's a letter of acceptance for them to do. Hereby awards a contract to you and your company to perform the caption work, which is for the provision of acquisition. Acquisition means them taking your property. You have to move out. And here the other thing, when you move out, this document says that the money that they're going to pay you is going to be so low, because over the years they allowed your property values to diminish down to rock bottom with crime, bad roads, bad water, no electricity, decay. They allowed it, gentrification to take place. So they are coming to pay you a pittance. So much so that the document, the intelligent people who did this, right? Let's read some more for you. 3rd May 2017. They now come yesterday in 2020, November, to tell you, oh, we're going to consult and so on. This is a done deal from long time. And CNC3 media journalist Kijan Haynes is discussing with Camille how the Prime Minister and the government consulted normal thing with the people. That was May 2022. The contract was done, signed and agreed and approved since 2017. No consultation. The PNM said in May 2022, yes, we are coming to consult with you. 5 years later, and Keishan PNM Haynes and CNC3 PNM CNC3 and to Mr. Bossman of Ansa Makal. You see the nonsense? So don't come and tell Anil. Anil just talking facts. If you want to be a media house, then how could you have Keishan Haynes talking about politics and propaganda and ridiculing that man? That's not a journalist job. That's a politician job. If Camille Robinson Regis want to ridicule Watson Duke and he big toe, that is she business. That is we business. We politicians. A journalist is to research and provide facts. Did that sound like a factual piece? Or was that concocted PNM political propaganda and lies about a policy and consultation and they have been told? Watson Duke walked down there. Whether all they like Watson Duke or not is irrelevant. Whether he have political support or not is irrelevant. He went and talked to people. The people said what was going on and he went down there with people, did not barricade himself and went to find out what is going on now. He's about a year late compared to the UNC, no big thing. But now you all have the facts. And Keishan here, boy, you are such a mental midget. It's not funny. If you're a PNM, that's all right. Don't try to pretend that you're some journalist, you big flipping clown. Residents frustrated as situation remains the same 3 months after Seascape Apartments landslide. A story by Michel Lubon. It's been 3 months since residents of Seascape Apartments, PNM Cocorit, the nosebreaker Cocorit. Next to nosebreaker is Prime Minister Diego Martin West Rowley. Next to that is the acting Prime Minister Diego Martin Northeast. Good, all right, but this should have been solved. They woke up to a horror of a landslide on November 29th. Since then, the dirt and debris are yet to be removed. Yet to be removed since November 2022. We in March 2023, and the PNM is in charge of this, the nosebreaker. Diego Martin Central MP, this one, said he was hoping to meet with Port of Spain Mayor Joel Martinez, who's a PNM. He hoping to meet with a PNM. 3 months after, people nearly dead and house going and fall down. He hoping to meet with the next PNM, Joel Martinez. Because he trying to throw the mayor, Joel Martinez, under the bus. Mayor care, PNM could throw both PNM. Both all they should hold hands and jump under the bus. No joke, we will be happy. He said, since he said an end to the woes of the residents was dependent upon the intervention of the Port of Spain Corporation. So not me, I the MP, no, I in cabinet, I have a portfolio, I get in Fatima become a father, I had some connection and so on. I was the dunces in the whole class. I was the last one who thought I would ever be a minister, but I am the member of parliament, but not me, it's the mayor of that PNM. Brilliant. The MP also gave residents the assurance he has been working assiduously. Well, you look up that word in the thesaurus, assiduously. You have been working assiduously, yet nothing has been achieved. It means you're incompetent. You don't understand? If that's your best, as I tell you, losers try, winners succeed. He has been working assiduously. Let's see what happened. The MP also gave residents the assurance that he has been working assiduously on getting the debris removed so that they can return to a state of normalcy. In a Sunday Express report, residents said they have experienced sheer frustration for 3 months and they are still waiting for dirt and debris to be removed. So he working assiduously. They even removed the dirt and debris. 3 PNM MPs, a PNM Mayor and Corporation, Diego Martin PNM Corporation, and this MP with all them resources, all of that control, cannot even remove debris. Me I talk about reconstruction, me I talk about a wall, a retaining wall, engineer report, me I talk all them difficult things, He cannot even clean up the area. The man can't even sweep up. The man can't take a dustpan and sweep up. The man is unable to clean up the debris, but he is working assiduously. Don't hurt yourself with that big word, the nosebreaker, don't hurt yourself. I know it's difficult. Make hay while the sun shines, says the Express now. As we enter the third month of the year, there is little sign of the massive road repair and land stabilization program that was promised by the government. Let me read that again for you now. How about that thing underlined, you know? But let me read that for you again, you know. This is the Express that tries to humbug Kamala and her efficient working government. That performance beat all talk, and UNC's always work. Here it is, the Express that support Rowley basically saying they flipping lie. We ain't seen nothing what they say. Another set of promises unkept. Listen to the Express. As we enter the third month of the year, there is little sign of the massive road repair and land stabilization program that was promised by the government for 2023. Here what you have to do, Express. Hire Keyshawn Haynes and he will go interview Rohan and say, Rohan, boy, I'm seeing road paving all over the place, man. You all are really doing. I'm seeing her from Princestown to Library up to Matlat in Miyaro. Oh, no, the bypass road, the top more pothole, it nearly collapsed. But you promised that I'm really seeing road paving. I'm Keyshawn Haynes. Could I have a contract? Do you all think you all could give me a little work? Why you all don't get Keyshawn Haynes to go and do another journalistic interview? Express continued. Given the urgency of this case, about the same seascape with the nosebreaker, right? The urgency of this case, the lack of response to the residents' plight by the MP, the PNM nosebreaker, the Ministry of Rural Development, the PNM tight jersey, what you name? Al-Rawi, and the Port of Spain Corporation, the next one who dancing out at time, Mayor PNM Martinez, is incomprehensible. So the PNM of the Prime Minister, the acting Prime Minister, a MP and a Minister in the Cabinet, the Minister of Rural Development, the Port of Spain Corporation, the Diego Martin Corporation, and them can't even clean up debris to serve citizens. And y'all vote for that and say UNC and PNM is the same. All you give the douglAR a little rest now, man. Please. I'm begging. Hey, when you're talking local government mess, corporations face shortages, lack of material, faulty equipment, and Rowley say, now understand what's the system, eh? There's a Ministry of Local Government. All the corporations fall under that. The budget is red. The allocation to the Ministry of Local Government goes to the 14 corporations, each amount. They have a minister who goes in cabinet. They have a minister who's supposed to liaise with the Minister of Finance to make sure the 14 corporations get their allocations. The Prime Minister is there. The Prime Minister have Diego Martin Corporation. He's an MP for Diego Martin West. He living in Diego Martin West. And he say his Diego Martin PNM Corporation don't have no gravel, don't have no cement, don't have no money to do nothing, that he had to take money out your own pocket, which is really your money, in his pocket to fix his thing because he nearly lose his house. And you all accept it. Then he say, oh, that's why we need reform. We don't need reform like that. We need the PNM out. Because here's the solution. Ministry of Local Government, harass, call me about, where the money, corporation needed, Diego Martin needed, Port of Spain needed, Cuba needed, Chaguanas needed, all of them, Penal Debe needed, give me the money, get the money out, permanent secretary, get the money, corporation serve the people. See how I solve it already? That ain't take no reform. The only thing it take is to move the PNM, move Rowley, move Al-Rawi. Al-Rawi only had time to make video, Archie. That all he had, look, come in now, Al-Rawi.
Hi everyone, here with Carrie-Ann, here with Alexandra.
The girl's real pretty, but my far is giving this kind of vibe.
To the PNM man who telling me about meaty, so I don't meet man no way, boy. Check Faris. Why do we tolerate this incompetence? A letter to the editor written by Denise Demin from Diego Martin. Now the reason I'm going to read this for you is Denise Demin was a PNM chairman of a board, the tourism board, whatever they called it at that time. And she resigned and she didn't tell the population why she resigned. But hear what she's saying. 40 years ago, while I was pregnant, I fell into a pothole. Fortunately, the fall did not terminate my pregnancy, but I still have the scar on my foot as a reminder. 40 years later, Our country continues to be haunted by potholes despite owning the pitch lake and producing bitumen for many years. What can we learn from our failure to manage potholes throughout our country? False premise, Miss PNM. You see, you think you're so intelligent. You just lump 40 years in there as if it has been a consistent, same way potholes. That's not true, ma'am. Because during the periods of UNC government, whether it's in coalition or not, the roads improved. So you would have had potholes 40 years ago when you went in and unfortunately scarred your foot. Thank God your baby was still healthy. Plenty pothole. Then comes UNC, efficiency, Bastio Pandey, Sadiq Bash, roads, smooth, improvement in the pothole graph. Okay, let's pretend we create a pothole graph. And it goes good, road smooth, people happy. Then oops, here comes 1818 and a PNM president, a man who was vexed with Pandey for making his government collapse after he pelt out Pandey, puts PNM in, and the potholes started to increase again, and the roads started to go bad, and you, good thing you wasn't pregnant at that time, you would have had a miscarriage because the roads started to go bad, and then bam, 2010, in comes Kamla Prasad Bisesa and the People's Partnership, ma'am. And Jack Warner start to pave road all over, not for election, right through. Got Jack Warner and Ganga Singh, Minister of Public Utilities and Works and Transport, instructed by Kamla Prasad Bisesa, get together. As she said, I don't want to see no new paved road being dug up by Wassa. So, Ganga Singh, Jack Warner, Ganga Singh saying, we're going to replace pipe here on the map. Bap, 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 bap. Jack Warner say, okay, when you finish, bap, 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 I come in, boop, 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 boop. Road smooth all over the country. People who didn't have smooth road in Gasparilla, Princestown, Barakpa, all in Dago Martin, we driving nice. Then comes Rowley and Email Gate, and you, ma'am, Denise Deming, you too. You PNM came in September 7, 2015, ma'am, and now we have the worst roads in history because Rohan PNM Sinanan is incompetent, Faris PNM Al-Rawi is incompetent, Keith PNM Rowley is incompetent. So my lady, you start off with a false premise, trying to give the opinion and impression that it remained the same all the time. That is not true. That's disingenuous because you still have Balize in your blood. Why did you resign? What forced you to resign from the PNM chairman of the tourism board? Tell me. Like many systemic problems such as crime, and now she goes to use the potholes beautifully. It's a metaphor. Like many systemic problems such as crime and corruption, it is difficult to navigate around them. A redesign of our systems and processes is needed to prevent the crime and corruption from becoming more deeply entrenched. Madam PNM, Denise Deming, Kamla Prasad Bisesa brought procurement legislation within 5 years and got it passed with a special majority. Since then, Keith Rowley for the last 8 years has come in, gutted the procurement legislation. So if procurement legislation passed like this, means, hey, this could fight corruption. And Rowley comes and says, no, weaken it. We need the thief, let's lower it. You are saying that that's the same thing, my lady? If Kamla Prasad Bisesa, when she was Prime Minister, Miss Denise Deming, said one person for chairing one board, corporate governance, and Rowley came in and said, Eustace Narcisse, 8 board. Ingrid Lashley, 9 board. Newman George, 7 board. Noel Garcia, spend all the money. Which one is more corrupt or gives more potential for thieving, ma'am? So it's not a straight line. When PNM come, thieving does go up, performance goes down. When UNC comes, performance goes up, and it beats all talk. So don't write nothing I read in here. I want you to respond, please. Because I love the metaphor about the potholes and so on, you know. But just like the potholes under PNM were terrible, UNC come and improve, partnership improve, PNM terrible. The roads are in the worst state in history because of your PNM government that you are a part of. Don't say because you resign, you something else now. Tell us why you resign. Because part and parcel of the corruption, if you want to bust corruption, is when a chairman resigns, they should tell the population, I resigned because I was instructed to do X, Y, and Z, and I refused so to do. Kamla Prasad Bisesa said no family members of ministers on any boards. That's good corporate governance. More eyes on the money, more checks and balances. No nepotism, less nepotism, and so on. Improvement. Not so. Makes it harder to thief. It's easier to thief when your best friend and your bagman with a grocery bag from Alisgan in charge of building airport, hospital, Central Block Health Center, business building, fire station, police station, magnificent 7 President's House, Prime Minister residence in Tobago, Red House, every house in Trinidad and Tobago, one man. Is that good corporate governance, or does that facilitate thieving, my lady? See? Denise Deming continued. Is it that many of us live in our little bubbles and are not aware of the extent to which this ignoring of potholes is undermining? Well, my lady, you in a bubble by yourself with your PNM Balisay juice, because this does not help. You do not help by not telling the truth. Rowley has come in and has created a web of corruption like never before. You, Kamala, say no family members on board. Rowley says, ministers, y'all could come and procure vessels. Let's go down, me and you, small pin, and let's spend 1.5 billion. Let's go and meet with the CEOs of Hostal and Incat and let's spend the people money. Let's buy galleons, passing ministers buying. No tender, no committee, no evaluation, no public servants. Let's go, Stuart Smallspin, you and me. Let's go Houston and negotiate gas price. Yes, no public servants, no technocrats, no NGC officials. Jerry Brooks resigned. All of these things, they just pass you. Or it float over your bubble, madam. I love to read, but you're not making sense. Please analyze. And don't take offense, because I read you, but you're not making sense. You understand what I'm saying? Rowley goes in the cabinet and says, hey, Al-Rawi, you got a building? Step out there and have a coffee, man. Hey, all of y'all, this is Al-Rawi's building. Let's agree here to pay him 23 million in 3 years for rent, 6 years, 46 million. You know, he didn't have money to finish his building. So let's take the taxpayers' money, give him $38 million to outfit the building. Okay, okay, cabinet. Oh, okay, come back in, Ferris. Come back in, Ferris. Denise Deming, is that good? 510 recusals in 4 years. Minister's family getting benefits of over $8 billion and you writing as if everybody's the same. 40 years pothole, roads same bad. No, Denise Deming, give me a rest. Come off your whatever Pontius Pilate belief you have and come down to the brass tacks, and I leave you with this. Why did you resign as PNM chairman of the tourism board? Why? See? If you can't tell us so that we could fix whatever was wrong, that assists corruption, doesn't it? See? Look at what happens. This is Diego Martin, you know. Rowley constituency, you know, run it.
Right now with Wassa. And these lines and them. Watch how much blue line. The water wasting. So high up Bagatelle, right now. We are asking for anybody to send this to WhatsApp, please, that we could get some assistance when it comes into these lines, that the waterways hold it. It's better to take it off.
Better to take off the minister. Better to take off the minister, man. Now let's get on to a serious topic. Rowley comes just like when the Judith Jones report came in, and he's done nothing for 14 months while children are being buggered and raped and battered. He talked about a report from, Sabga report from 1990 something. Media gone with that. Children getting buggered now, you know. Beaten now, you know. Burned with cigarette now, you know. As I speak now, you know. The media don't care about that. Them going back to play games because being a PNM is more important than stopping children from getting buggered. And Father Gordon, Trinidad is a real place, ain't? Rowley come now. A report done from 2020. He is the government. He is the National Security Council. He are the Minister of National Security. They've done nothing. We move from tier 2 to tier 2 watch list on human trafficking. He is the government. He come and throw something about UNC. The media go on UNC. Well, listen to this. A CARIFORUM report, renowned migration and human trafficking expert Dr. Justin Pear, who led a team conducting the CARICOM Human Trafficking Research Project in 2019, says nobody from Trinidad and Tobago government contacted his team to discuss the human trafficking findings. Who was the minister? Stuart Smallpin Young. Hear what Smallpin say. The findings of the CARICOM Human Trafficking Research Project in 2019 never brought to his attention. So human trafficking going on, abuse, slavery, wickedness, maliciousness, nastiness. And the PNM responded, but me ain't get a report. And the media gone UNC. Interesting, eh? But yet, all over social media, you never see a picture with Kamala and nobody who own a brothel, nobody who own Copacabana. Kamala didn't sit down and hug up a man whose place get raided and woman was saved from human trafficking. You never see this, but yet media is asking, how come we didn't see this on the front page? This is the Prime Minister, Keith Christopher Rowley, sitting, holding the hand and rubbing the leg of Budit, the owner of Copacabana, and Faris Al-Rawi in the same house, Budit house, eating their food, drinking their scotch, liming. And these people who are in charge, the Prime Minister and the Attorney General, and this Minister of National Security, receive a report, independent report from CARIFORUM and CARICOM about human trafficking, intel, detail, and did absolutely nothing for 4 years. And you're talking UNC? Make it make sense, please. No, I really want y'all to make it make sense. And then you who vote and say UNC, PNM, same thing. What is this? And then all I have to say, I sing in a new soca. Leng, 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 leng. Instead of Santi Manite, leng, 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 PNM and leng, leng, PNM and leng, leng. Look, the Minister of National Security in Skinner Park, go back to one picture, in Skinner Park, next to this fella called Leng, right? The Minister of National Security, you know, and the PNM Fitzgerald at Talbot Hines, who like to talk in Parliament. Look him there. This is Skinner Park, 131 million for a project that worth 17 million. Fitzgerald Hines is standing up next to a fella there, right there. That's Leng. Who is Leng? I wonder what this guy, this a footballer? Is he a national hero? Did he captain Trinidad and Tobago to the Caribbean Cup and so on? Put the next picture. Where's Leng? Was 100,000 bail for a businessman on illegal gun transfer charge. And he's standing up next and liming and drinking scotch with the Minister of National Security, and all they're talking UNC. What's this? ASP Jaikran and Inspector Phillip, and supervised by Sergeant Williams and Sergeant Wilkinson, executed by officers in the Southern Division, right? Corporate Communications Unit, June 29, 2022. These two gentlemen were charged by the police and knocking glass with the Minister of National Security in the refurbished Skinner Park that 131 million gone, and the field moved from international standard to now look like he done in it. What fancy thing, boy? Jack your boy. How much jail Jack your make? Look like Kazim, that your boy Kazim. But you a Muslim, Kazim Hussein. You let me down there, boy. Look, Kazim there. But this is not the Leng. Remember we were saying Marabella doing a douglAR politics, Archie, and we see a big backhoe picking up garbage, so putting a big truck with Leng, this L-A-I-N-G on it. And I was saying, but wait now, small men, Well, boy, I have 2 daughters, but a man was on a rape charge. Hey, all you PNM, something wrong with all you know. I love Jackie music too. Jackie was in jail for about 7 years on a rape charge, come out and gone back in with a next charge. And all you have them holding up all your charge. That not my business now. Better all you than me. But Erla, you have no questions for Rowley about who house he was in there? Who is that he shaking your hand with? Erla, you have no questions for Faris? Who is that man? Copacabana? What is Copacabana? Erla, ask your police and them. Ask your people, what is Copacabana? Who is the owner? Show me a picture of the owner. Check and see if Anil lie, if that is not the owner. And if you see the face looking the same, what Rowley doing there? Now, Erla, you depend on Rowley for your contract in May. All right, Miguel, I can't say nothing. But just asking you to ask Rowley what you was doing in the man house, eating his food, shaking his hand. What is a prime minister doing with a notorious owner of a Copacabana where your police officers raid over the years and made hundreds of arrests, saving women from human trafficking? And while you're there, ask the former Attorney General too. And then when you're there, ask your Minister of National Security when you're smiling with him. But who is that you stand up next to in Skinner Park? Is that the man who my police charge? Minister Hines, my police charge, that man had a man on charges, and you are the Minister of National Security who in charge of selecting me and bringing resources and helping me fight crime. And you hugging up the man and taking picture? Earlier, you don't want to ask those questions. Ling, 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 ling. Now, let me also finish up by showing all you how the newspapers are disgusting. The Honorable Senator Damian Lyda brought up a critical issue about homelessness, vagrancy, the increasing. You all saw the videos even. I can't even talk about it. How Port of Spain and San Fernando and Chaguanas all over transforms at night time because poverty is hell and the poverty is increasing under this PNM. Never mind they spend $420 billion. It's only going into their pockets. Recusals, the rich getting richer and the poor getting poorer. Senator Damian Lyda on Tuesday brought a matter on the adjournment to bring this issue to the fore. The Express on Thursday does an editorial, right? They say, national burden of homelessness. The problems of homelessness and vagrancy resulting from poverty, displacement, mental illness, and drug addiction are intractable problems that seem to defy solution, even as they get worse. Anyone with the temerity to brave the nightlife of Port of Spain will discover a totally different city from the one by daylight. As the clock ticks its way towards midnight, the busy daytime streets filled with city activity are transformed into crowded, open-air sleeping quarters for an increasingly large nighttime population of mostly elderly men and women. It would be surprising if the phenomenon has gone unnoticed by the Port of Spain City Council, public health officials, social support services, and the police, yet it endures. No, it didn't go unnoticed. It went unnoticed by the PNM. But Senator Damian Lyda brought up the issue that forced you to write an editorial 2 days later. Not a mention of Senator Lyda, not a mention of the UNC, not a mention of the proposals, not a mention of the impact, nothing. Yet, in the Express, 6 pages after, they have the article. I'm just showing you how disgusting this media is. They're unable to just say the truth. What's wrong with saying the truth? That this critical issue was brought up by UNC Senator Damian Lyda on a matter for the adjournment. And the response by the PNM was woeful. and something needs to be done. The PNM is in charge. The government is in charge. Homelessness is increasing across Trinidad and Tobago. The PNM corporations, the PNM mayors have done nothing. The PNM ministers have done nothing. The PNM cabinet has done nothing, as the problem is exacerbated nightly, while citizens and NGOs are fighting to keep up with feeding the poor and the homeless. Why were you all unable to say that? Because don't take my word for it. Listen to Senator Damian Lyda on Tuesday, and the Express is so dishonest. They cannot just give Jack the jacket and Jim the gym boots, because the Express and the PNM is not on merit. They have to lie. They have to obfuscate so that some of you will still dip your finger for a Minister of National Security who hugging up a man on criminal charges, and a Prime Minister who hugging up a man who in charge a whole house. Run it.
There are as much as 500 or more street dwellers through the length and breadth of Port of Spain. Approximately 350 running anywhere between the west and the southeast of Port of Spain. And from the south part of Belmont, it is estimated in the constituency of the Member of Parliament for Port of Spain North, St. Anne's West, roughly just over 100 street dwellers. And the majority of persons are simply persons who have fallen on hard times, suffering joblessness as a result of the mass unemployment created by this PNM government. So we shouldn't paint a broad brush picture and categorize them all as drug addicts or mad people when they need help from us more than just shelter. These are citizens that deserve a warm meal when they are hungry, clothes to preserve their dignity, and shelter befitting every citizen of this nation. As we know, these are the basic needs covered in the Maslow's hierarchy of needs, Mr. President. This government has abandoned these citizens. So I ask now the Minister of Trade and the Minister of Health, through you, what say you when you sit with the Minister of Social Development and Family Services when it pertains to the impact of business and health in the Port of Spain? I ask through you to the Minister of National Security, what say you when you're sleeping away in cabinet next to the Minister of Social Development as it pertains to crime in the city? And I ask my good friend, the Minister of Tourism and Culture, my good friend, what say you when you sit in the cabinet, when you all arrive in the Parliament, when you all go to your government offices in the city? What say you when those brilliant cruise ships pull up in our port and the tourists have to walk through the streets of Port of Spain to see the filth of garbage in the streets, human feces in the road, and forgotten and abandoned citizens sleeping in the streets on cardboards in our capital city? In our capital city.
Since I've been in town this hour, but boy, these Royal Bank Independence Square people. Yep, part of the city, capital. See what's going on. Downtown Port of Spain. What's that? Downtown Port of Spain, the heart of Port of Spain. What is wrong?
Miss Denise Deming, are the potholes the same, or are the potholes increasing? Kamla Prasad Bisesa, by September 2015, got the poverty rate down from 19.7% in May 2010 to 16.7%. Before COVID-19, Keith Christopher Rowley and his recusal government and his redistribution of resources to the rich, his cutting of all Kamla Prasad Bisesa's programs for social development, mental health, differently able, autistic grants, sport, culture, school feeding, grants for baby milk, grants for those most in need, food cards down from 42,000 to 18,000. All of these cuts were made by Keith Christopher Rowley to redirect resources from where Kamala had put it for poor people, for vulnerable people. Rowley redirected it to the rich to get richer, the ministers to recuse themselves, and the poverty rate climbed by 2019 back up to 24.6% from 16.7%. Are the potholes the same, Madam Denise Deming? Father Gordon, is Trinidad and Tobago a real place? That was pre-COVID. Then came the COVID calamity, overseen by a convent girl so dotish he could not enter Montessori if he had to take a test. And the poverty rate, I told you all here and I kept telling you, is going up above 30% of locals. Then you have to exacerbate the problem and add on the 150 to 200,000 illegal immigrants that flooded through open borders into Trinidad and Tobago. And all the NGOs with no lines up, and people, Minister of Social Development Donna Cox telling Trinidad and Tobagonians that they're greedy, not needy. Remember that? The poverty rate increased above 30%. Are the potholes the same? Are those human beings lying down there? Is that the same as in 2014, 2015? No, Madam Denise Deming. It is getting worse because the economy is shattered. The energy sector is shattered. The policies of the PNM does not distribute the resources as our constitution states equally to all. The poor are getting poorer. The middle class has been decimated. And you all are playing politics and games in the mass media. Look at those people who are suffering. Elections have consequences. Madam Denise Deming, Father Gordon Archie put up one more image for me of hunger. This is from a World Bank statistic, independent statistic, and the increase in hunger in Trinidad and Tobago. 2009, it was 0.5. Okay, 2010, PNM into UNC was 0.9. 2011, 1. Kamala's policies start to take effect to deal with the poor. Poverty reduction drops down to 0.5%. Then in 2013, 0.1. She gets the hunger index down to 0%. Okay? The annual change, okay? 0.1. It went down. Sorry, I'm reading from the change. Let me move across. Let me start over. I read from the wrong thing. That was the percentage change. So 2009, 9.1%, right? 2010 dropped to 8.2%. Kamala came in May. 2011 down to 7.20%. 2012 6.70%. 2013 a little improvement, 6.60. 2014 holding there. Then 2015 holding, and then PNM came in September 2015, and 2016 it held, no improvement, and then 2017 it started to go up. This is poverty, this is hunger. Then 2018 it went up 7, 2019 7.3, 2020 7.5. Now then you have to now come in and go up with the COVID-19 now 2021, 2022, and that will be up to above 10% for the first time in our history. Our people are the most hungry they have ever been in our history. Are the potholes the same? No. The PNM creates potholes. They manufacture potholes. The incompetence, the heartlessness, the policies are totally different. And anyone who tries to equate the UNC and the PNM is being disingenuous to ensure that they have some kind of control or connection to get a nepotistic contract or a scholarship or a bursary. Government is a serious thing. Elections have consequences, and Kamala is totally different from the heartless, oppressive, disgusting Rowley does lime with Boudit. Rowley have pictures with Berkey. Rowley does lime with the fake old man. You're serious? That's your prime minister? Shame on y'all. Good night.
Good night.
I am it.